Hello everyone, Dave here from Outtakes, here to show you another of my game collections. Today we're looking at this thing here, the Nintendo 64. Probably my favourite console of all of them, simply because like the memories and nostalgia I have for games in general are strongest with this one. It came with these very strange controllers. They probably wouldn't do anything like that now, and sadly the analog sticks aren't very good on these controllers now. They just don't really work. Playing Mario 64 again in recent years, we can't beat Bowser on them, so we just cannot rotate the sticks good enough anymore, and they kind of hurt our thumbs. I don't know what's happened there, just as they've aged not very well, I suppose. So I'm going to show off all the games I do own for this console. They are piled right here, as you can see, and so I'm going to have to take them off the shelf before we get started. So after I've shown off these ones, I'm going to go through the ones I own digital that are on virtual consoles. For obvious reasons, I can't have them in the room with me. So let's get these games off that shelf and get them in front of the camera. Here we go. 1080 Snowboarding, a fun snowboard racer game where you can unlock a panda. Yes, hello Tom Panda. Yes, we can play as you in this game. Are you excited by that? Oh, isn't that good? Now go away. Banjo-Kazooie, one of the best games ever made? I certainly think so. Banjo-Tooie, one of the best names for a game ever made? I certainly think so. Castlevania, my introduction to the series. I thought it was alright at the time. Conker's Bad Fur Day. I was in my early teens when this game came out, so the humour was just perfect for me and my friends. Diddy Kong Racing, like Mario Kart, but with hovercrafts and planes and an awesome story mode. Donkey Kong 64. I absolutely loved this back in the day. It may not have aged the best, but that DK rap just gets better with time. F1 World Grand Prix. First time I played this, I had a bandaged thumb. FIFA 98. Indoor stadium, referee strictness down to 0, the best FIFA has ever been. FIFA 99. Barely played this one. 98 was just too good to top. Fighter's Destiny. I'd love to see this come back. You get points based on how you won a round, and first to a number of points wins. Very unique way to do a fighting game. Glover. You play as a magic glove pushing a ball. What's not to love? GoldenEye. One of my all-time favourite games. I'm a huge James Bond fan, and this game is the reason why. Jet Force Gemini. Not a lot of people talk about this one, but it's a really good sci-fi third-person shooter, and you can play as a dog who has a gun on his back. Why do people not talk about this one? Kobe Bryant's NBA Courtside, the only basketball game I've ever played, and I can confidently say I have enjoyed every single basketball game I've ever played. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Now the main story might not be too long, but all the side quests in this one, I had such a good time going through them all, discovering the world. I'd love to see him do another Zelda game like this. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This was my introduction to Zelda, which is one of my favourite gaming franchises, and this remains one of my favourite games to this day. Mario Golf. We got this one for my dad's birthday because he really likes golf, and yeah, it's just a very good golf game, this one. Mario Kart 64. Like Diddy Kong Racing, without hovercrafts, planes or a story mode, but amazing multiplayer though. Mario Tennis. Probably the most important game ever made, because if it wasn't for this one, we wouldn't have Waluigi. Mission Impossible. I love the Mission Impossible films, and unlike GoldenEye, this game is not the reason why, but I still enjoyed this one. Mystical Ninja starring Goman. Remake this game. I absolutely love this game, but I can't really play it now because, as I said, my controllers aren't all that good, and there are a few quality of life improvements it needs, like camera controls needs working and stuff like that. And that song that plays when you get into that giant robot, that should have been added to Smash along with the Goemon costume. Paper Mario. As much as I love the sequel, it can't top this one for me. This is my favourite one in the series. I have a lot of fond memories of playing this one. Perfect Dark, the long-awaited follow-up to GoldenEye, and it did not disappoint. My friends and I had a lot of fun over one summer just perfecting this game. Pokemon Snap. We need another one of these. Doesn't have to be drastically different or innovative, it just needs to be another one of these. A lot of people would buy it and love it. Rayman 2, The Great Escape. You needed one of these controller packs to save it. We didn't have one of these at first, so I had to play this from the very beginning every time. So I know the first few levels extremely well. Resident Evil 2. Legend has it that the cartridge in these boxes can randomly transform. Ah, it's Mario Party! Yeah, the box for this game's disappeared and the cartridge for this game's disappeared, so makes sense to keep it in there. But at least hiding this in here will keep our controllers safe. Rocket, Robot on Wheels. A really fun and I feel underrated 3D platformer. The first level in this one has a roller coaster maker of all things. South Park. Had a so-so single player but a really fun multiplayer, and the voice clips made it worth it. South Park Chef's Love Shack. We played this one so much that we knew all of the answers without the questions even forming. We just had to see the options, so it became a case of who could buzz in first. And the minigames are pretty cool as well. South Park Rally, a non-linear racing game. Seriously, instead of having traditional laps, you'd have 4 checkpoints scattered around that you had to drive on in order. Drive on all 4 of them, that's a lap completed. So you could strategise by finding quicker ways to cut through to get to each checkpoint in time. Actually worked really well and utilised the South Park licence with all its different power-ups, and again the voice clips were just so funny. Space Station Silicon Valley. This is a fun, inventive 3D puzzle platformery style game where you can play as a lot of different robot animals, and it's going to join Mystical Ninja, Rocket and Glover on the please give this a remake pile. Super Mario 64. The first game we got with the N64. I've played this so many times, I don't really know what I can say about this that everyone hasn't already said. It's just a phenomenon, still very, very prominent amongst YouTubers today. I mean, just amazing game. Super Smash Brothers. Now this is a very, very important game for me. Not just because it introduced me to Kirby and Samus and the likes, but I was just getting into Pokemon when this game came out, and all the Pokemon and stuff in here just escalated my interest. So I see this game as not just the first Smash game, and I love Smash Brothers, but I see it as my entry into the Pokemon franchise, and I have huge nostalgia for this game for that reason. Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. Awesome flying levels, weirdly controlled on foot levels, but I really liked this one still. Top Gear Overdrive. I bought this one because we really loved Top Gear Rally when we borrowed that game. This isn't as good as Top Gear Rally. V-Rally 99. This is a very, very strange one for me. I remember getting this game, it was the 7th game we got on the N64, but I have absolutely no memory of playing it. Even looking at the screenshots on the back just doesn't ring any bells. So it's a very strange one, I just don't remember ever playing this. But the games we bought before and after this one were Banjo-Kazooie and Ocarina of Time, so obviously those two just eclipsed this one. Wave Race 64. This was the first N64 game I ever played. It was on display in a shop. Very good racer. Worms Armageddon. It's Worms. It's really fun. What more can you say? Okay, so those are all the physical N64 games I own. Let's take a look at the digital ones I own on the virtual consoles. Bomberman 64. I remember playing this at a friend's house when I was younger. He told me there was a super secret bonus level down this pit. Of course I fell for that. Doom 64. I bought this one recently on the Switch as it was quite cheap. and I've never actually played it. The footage you're looking at now is actually my first time playing it in order to capture the footage for this video. F-Zero X. I owned GX on the GameCube but never got this one on the N64. It's very fast if you haven't heard. Kirby 64. I wasn't into Kirby back then, so luckily I could give this game a go on the Wii U, and it's a fun time. Lilac Wars, also known as Star Fox 64. I never got this game back in the day since a friend owned it, so I played it a lot on his one. Slippy is my favourite. And finally, Mario Party 2. Maybe if I had this one instead of the first one back in the day, my controllers would be in a better condition. So that was my N64 collection. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below any games you think I'm missing, and make sure you subscribe for more future videos to come. So thank you again for watching. Goodbye. Mario Tennis, probably the most important game ever made, because without this game we wouldn't have Waluigi. Okay, try that. We wouldn't have Waluigi. Right, we'll keep going till we get it, yeah. We wouldn't have Waluigi. That was too quick.
Yeah, I know, sorry.
Waluigi. God. That's better. He's eating my arm.